Hello and welcome back to Fierce Entertainment for my review of 1997's Night of the Demons 3. I will be talking about the plot of the film, what I've heard from critics around when this Blu-ray was released last year, the real opinion of this movie, my opinion after watching the movie, which I literally just watched this movie before I started getting this from this camera and started reviewing movies. And then I do a lot of them tonight. And, of course, talk about the quality of the catalog title from Scream Factory and give the film a ranking. Alright. Is Halloween, the gates of Hell House have cracked open once again, and Angela is waiting for her treats. When a group of rebellious teens take refuge in the foreboding funeral home to escape the law, they soon realize the grave error. Packed with thrills, chills, and bloody spills, Night of the Demons 3 is a party to die for. Alright, the rules opinion. This is the least favored Night of the Demons film. They say that this one is, unlike the first two films, this one is far more generic. And is cringy and the comedic as the first two films were, especially on that cringe. Especially as cringy as the first two films were, and they were. This one's actually far more cringy. I mean, a lot of people have also said that the visual effects in this movie and makeup effects are a step down from the first two films. That's kind of what I gather from the Rule's opinion. Now let's go into mine. When it comes to the makeup effects of this movie and adding visual effects, there's some visual effects that really didn't need to be there, and they look very, very bad. Like that intro beginning credit sequence was terrible in this movie, in my opinion, in terms of that. The makeup effects were definitely not that good. Matter of fact, the makeup effects kind of remind me of a cheap attempt at doing the same type of kind of makeup effects you have in, say, a very underrated horror film, which hopefully Scream Factory or Arrow or somebody, I would suggest Scream Factory on this one, because I think they do a great job. The old underrated horror film, The Club. The makeup effects in this movie kind of remind me of that, but unlike The Club, which actually did a very good job with makeup effects like that, this one does a very poor job with it. So I do agree with that. Now, do I think this is a generic horror film? That's where I differ from the Rule's opinion. No, I don't, because I was paying very close attention to horror films in 1987, and this definitely does not seem anything like a generic 1990s horror film to me. Neither does the second movie. I would say it's not a great horror film at all. In fact, this film is so much of a step down from the first two films. And this film is kind of a film that did not need to be made. I mean, and I'll be very honest with you, because we're talking about my opinion here. This film did not need to be made. If they would have stopped with Night of the Demons Part 2, that would have been a perfect series. This is the one that kind of like, why did they make this movie? Why? They had two perfect movies and are almost perfect films, and they made this, and it just, no, they should not have made this movie. That's kind of the way I look at it, but did I actually enjoy this movie? Yeah, I got some enjoyment out of this film. But I can't stress enough, this film did not need to be made. They had a perfect ending for the character of Angela in the second Night of the Demons film. They did not need to do a third one. And that kind of plays into my ranking a little. Now let's talk about the quality of the catalog. I said this on Halloween Resurrection. Whoever remastered the Night of the Demons films in 2023 when they did this release, as well as Night Demons 2, and of course the 4K release of the first film. When he got to this one, they probably felt the same way I did. Well, it's a decent horror film. I can still enjoy it. But we did not need this movie, and it's way too cringy for my taste. Okay, I'll just go ahead and try to pay attention to this movie. Well, the quality of this movie kind of reflects that, because a lot less love was put into the remastering of this movie than the first two films. Now, is it bad? No, it's not bad. But it's a letdown from the first two films, but you'll still get a decent watch out of the picture quality of the film. And the stereo surround presentation is doable, but that is more generic. It's not pushing on all cylinders like the second film, which had the same type of sound presentation as this one. But that one just looks and sounds way better than this one. So let's go into the ranking. This is a very hard one, but as much as I want to give this a 3-star rating, I cannot. I am giving this movie a 2.5 stars. Yeah, I'm giving this movie a 2.5 stars. It is a good movie and almost a great movie, but it is nowhere near a perfect movie. So this gets near one of my very low rankings is this one. But like I said I didn't hate this movie. But the issues I have with this movie definitely does not put it into a 3-star or almost 4-star ranking for me. It just doesn't. But it's still a fun movie, so I suggest you do check it out, especially if you like the first two. You like this one. That's what I gotta say about Night of the Demons from 1997, also known as Night of the Demons Part 3, and I will see you guys on the next reviews that I do. Until then.